Hey, Curious here. Okay, now I have to preface this video with a little bit of something about YouTube drama and not drama exactly, but like policy and my view upon it. Uh, I noticed I was getting a little cyberbullying about the thing about Nagari and all that stuff. And he's not Barry Blast anymore. Okay, let's just say David N. I can't keep up with whether he's Super N or, I'm saying nigger, okay? And, his thing is nigger means human and yada yada, and it's like, I don't like to throw that word around because, I noticed YouTube's starting to get, iffy on that. So, I'm just using this as a preface of the subject matter. So, I'm not using it in itself. He wanted me a video saying to come out on this, and Rich, Pre-Med 2, wants me to make a video talking about David saying this, but I've already taken the position that, since I'm subbed to David, it's like, he asked me to, if I'm subbed to him, to leave my, N-phobia behind. So, I can make a video on anything I want. I can even make a video just like I wanted to before, if I want to. But he kind of asked that. So on the subject for him, I found that was a good breaking off point. It rang as a good line in the sand, or a place to stop. It worked for me. So I was like, okay, this hopefully can be a non-aggression pack, so to speak. Because I was thinking to myself, well, if I'm going to so much business to watch this guy, then why am I trying to get him away? Excuse me. Guns untight. Okay. Anyway. I'm only religious in German. No. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's the point, is why bash someone who you view? It's not that I agree with his views. It's not that I'm not interested in watching him. It's just that I find him interesting. So there it is there. In any case, hopefully this will be some interesting point between David and Pre-Med, whose chemistry I can't really figure out. Pre-Med tried to actually start in on that way with me, his kind of passive-aggressive abusiveness and stuff, Tom Selleck in a fat suit. And I just find it hilarious. The man's comedy is golden. Man, the more he says, the more I like. Bring it! Anyway, I should have said that. I'm going to get it now. Anyway, it's an honor. So, where was I? Oh yeah, David. Oh yes. I feel like this is almost like don't ask, don't tell of political correctness. Don't wait. They won't let you. Oh boy. If this isn't something for Republicans, they won't let you. My God. Really? And that brings me back to why else I made this video. They won't let you because they will stop you. And I've been noticing that lately of myself. Well, the thing is that, God, I can't believe I'm going to make this corny freaking comic book reference, but the more power, the more responsibility, and vice versa. Oh yeah, but no, the more power, the more responsibility. And words can be powerful. So, I started out with Republicans like, oh, I'm going to friggin' I dare say what not be said. No, I never get that right. I'm friggin' super villain who friggin' can't friggin' remember his moniker. Shit. Oh yeah, fear me, for I say what dare not be said. And sometimes I do what dare not be done. Wow. The Fat Vader. Shit. But yeah, I mean, it's basically that was the premise of the whole thing. Is I was going to be a devil's advocate, and I was going to come in and say things that politically correct people weren't going to say, because we lived in a progressive authoritarianism that wouldn't let social convention say things that have become real truths. It's sort of like on the same thing as objectivism. Kind of like the social aspects of objectivism. Ayn Rand and stuff. Of course, I respect but disagree with some of her economic views because I am a progressive there. But I respect the fact that you have to be wise to them. The reason I say economics is because what we're talking about is issues. Social issues. And there's social issues and cultural aspects of society, and there's social issues in economic aspects of society. The economic is different because there's a tangible result there, even in that higher math. That just they've got machines crunching frigging numbers on Wall Street, and it's like Skynet. I mean, it's just outrageous. But back to social issues and what I feel about they won't let you. I've always felt that technology shapes society. Not completely, but it's like a platform upon which things can be built. It's almost like social architecture. That's a very good way of putting it. Because while you may want to build skyscrapers or castles or cathedrals, or you may have a society where castles become obsolete, and those affect your society because it's the building blocks of your society. And you might say, well, that has nothing to do with social issues. Well, if man makes his own environments, it has everything to do with social issues. And it's somewhat the same thing we're having now with oil and aging infrastructures that were built in the 1800s, 1900s, at least in America. Things are wearing down because they're getting old. There's wooden pipelines. We got society that still uses coal and oil in non-clean manners. I think there's a bio-waste application to hydrocarbons that isn't commonly accepted, but that could be kind of my pie in the sky, because I see the worst as the best in renewables. And that might not be actually true, but I guess that's a belief. That's a faith in a sense, because I don't know the science, but from things I've read, there's people that are enthusiasts like me in that manner. So who knows? I've thrown my ideological hopes in science, in renewables to make a better society and culture, into biowaste. Other people, well, it's passe for fusion now because it's just currently never come about. But there's other people, think ethanol, think solar sails and hydro and, and hydrogen, the Hydrogen Society people and stuff. They're out there. Off the gridders and stuff like that. In any case, that's what they're doing, is they're choosing aspects of society. I mean, aspects of technology that would change those aspects of society. And so, when we're stuck with they won't let you, I know this is really getting way around the bush. Maybe the whole friggin' field of bushes, but just this is a lap around the park, pretty much. But it's important to preface the aspect of the subject because you need to fully comprehend the viewpoint that I'm trying to to share. Okay, they won't let you. What's with they won't let you? Well, basically, because we have this society with its geopolitical realities, racism, racism, bigotry, sexism, bigotry. I guess, same-sex discrimination could count as bigotry. It's got its own little homophobia or something, but that's discrimination. So, okay, fine. We're going to accept those things. I don't really, but then again, I don't accept a lack of social justice. I just view it more as a status issue with capitalism and society. See, I just accept it as a straight application of technology and society's build upon it. A classless case system. But I've said that before. Basically, I believe civil liberties and social justice should be individualist. And that shouldn't take away from anyone's social justice, even a non-citizen, because once you view that way, there is a distinction between citizen and non-citizen, which then again, the other person then becomes, either foreign or domestic, a matter of human rights. And what are you going to do about immigration and illegal immigration in your society? But currently, society as it is, they won't let you, means that that's the way it is. Unless you're going to pioneer something else, you're going to do civil liberties and social justice are earmarked, or they're just, I guess they're earmarked, but they're just bundled with aspects of current day views of anti-racism, non-sexism, and anti-bigotry. And that's a viewpoint that hinges upon those concepts. So if you're trying to say NMH, well, you're going to run into a problem unless you could actually come up with something else to make it, well, I have to say it, but a gimmick. A social rights niche thing. It's like it only gets better, or Kobe 2012, or Coney, sorry, 2012, or something that has a niche catch that makes it a movement instead of just a redesignation. And if you have that, then you have something else that makes it a social catalyst. I couldn't imagine what that would be, but NMH does suffer from the problem of TWLY. And it's just, unless you have a catalyst to change it up that becomes popular and quirky, that people can self-identify with as not being part of the pejorative crowd, it'll never take, because it's just trying to put the cart in front of the horse by having the cart roll over the horse or the horse walk over the cart or something. You know, and I'm sure there's a few YouTube videos about that out there. Or you got your friggin' horse cart sitting there with all your load and your friggin' horse stuck in the air. I think there's a donkey one like that. You need something that makes it pop. And that's going to be something that resonates with people. And I don't know what that would be. It just can't be NMH by itself. It has to be something like it gets better, it gets darker. No, that's not right. Yeah, see, it's the problem is you got to make it something that people will catch with in your instant feedback society. It's something that states your mission view, or anybody who sees it will become interested enough to be drawn to it, but without so much changing or flipping around, bait and switching the view. It will become self-explanatory in the first few sentences of it. And that's what you need, is something like, I don't know, anytime you start introducing the pejorative N-word without a list of explanation, you've got issues. It's like I was watching the Disney thing, and I wanted to watch the old comics, the old Disney comics that were like, blue comics, racist and all this stuff and everything, and, no one cared back then, and it was like, Mickey was doing blackface, and it was kind of innocent, but, what it was, and it was like, oh, well, yeah, he's doing blackface, okay. But no matter how you watch the video, I don't know how they geared that, but every time you went to watch a video, there was the TV announcer guy, or the guy who did movie reviews, one of the movie review guys, not Cisco or Ebert, but another big one like that. His prefaces for video, the political correctness thing that they would show you, would come up every single time. It's not so much that the message was annoying. Well, that's my politics, but I'm going to avoid that right now. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I have a different view on politics, so we'll just leave it at that. Well, no, simply it's just that I believe social justice and civil liberty, social justice is aspect of individualism. That takes a different view. But that's the whole thing of my view about race. It's right there, I believe it's about individualism. But in any case, this thing for the viewing just came on every single time, and it was annoying. It was both ideologically annoying, and it was just annoying for viewership. Because I just wanted to review it over without the 2-minute dialogue to tell me what I'm supposed to think. I wanted to see what society was doing and how it changed from what we would now see drawn, if that was ever to be drawn, which wouldn't, of course, to what it was drawn then. That was reflecting an aspect of society. So, let's start more about They Won't Let You. I think it'd be very interesting. That's the new dialogue to take. They won't let you. Why won't they let you? There's the problem with Nigarity. Why won't they let you? They won't let you. Why?